is anyone as crazy about Anne of Green Gables as I am? I think you had to be born in the 80s, maybe the 90s to appreciate this. I don't know of any guys who were into it as much, but Anne of Green Gables rocks my socks. And we are still gonna talk about roses and coconut oil and bacon grease and being over 30 and the whole 30 program. But before we get into that, let's talk about Anne of Green Gables. So when I was little, my sister and I loved to play what we called olden days. So that just meant that we pretended we lived in the time of Anne, or that Disney Channel show called Avonlea. That was kind of the same time, same principle, same premise. And we would traipse around my parents' property in our little outfits, and we would go visit in the garden and think it was just the most wonderful time. And something that really stood out to me even then was that everything was very, sort of opulent and romantic and soft and cushy, kind of, in the most simple way. Even, someone in their farmhouse, just their life was just about, it was just more simple. The romance of this time period always appealed to me as a little girl. And there was this rose bush, a wild rose bush in the brush at my parents' house. And I would go there and feel like it was my little secret. I didn't think that anyone else knew it was there. And that sort of became my romantic little outing that I would make. But let's get back to the coconut oil and the bacon and all of that. Initially, I had really bad skin, I guess. I was born with keratosis pilaris, so little red bumps on my face and my arms and my legs, and I eventually grew out of that. But I definitely had acne growing up, and even into my 20s, I experienced quite a few breakouts and lots of dry skin, lots of oily skin. So my first tip is that I realized that once I started eliminating all of these different products and just trying to do something, the better my skin got. My mom gave me a bottle of argan oil, and all I was doing was washing my face and using the argan oil as moisturizer. That's it. Huge difference in my skin. To this day, I completely recommend argan oil. And next, for unrelated reasons to skin, I started to eliminate certain foods. So I eliminated sugar, and I eliminated wheat, and then gluten, and then eventually I eliminated all grains. And even with just the first few reductions in the sugar and the wheat, huge difference in my skin. And not everyone has a problem with those things. I mean, I know people who eat tons of wheat and sugar and have the most beautiful skin, but for me it was a huge difference. And maybe someone else out there who is trying to see some improvements, that might be something you would want to look into. As I got older and as I got to be over 30, I found that my skin just wasn't, I was using just these natural products, and my skin just was kind of, not what I wanted it to be. And so I searched out for a more effective line of products. Through lots of trial and error, I found a line that I really like, and I use a few different lines in my general routine. But right now, I just am loving on the rose. So rose water, for example, and rose oil are very balancing, they're anti-aging, they're clarifying and toning, they're antiseptic, and I don't know, it kind of covers all you might want for your skin. It's hydrating. I have rose water in my cleanser, and I have a mask that I use that it's not a good mask. It has parabens in it, and I don't condone that. I shouldn't do that, but I'm being honest, and I do use it sometimes. It has rose petals in it. It's really nice. So I'll link all of these products down below if you're interested. I'm not totally sucked into this is liquid, by the way, because it's really warm in here today. Sucked into the coconut oil thing, except for whenever I have an issue with my skin, which still sometimes happens, dryness or ruddiness or breakouts even, I stop all my products except for my cleanser, and all I use on my face is either argan oil or the coconut oil. And I'm gonna go into this into another video, but I rub it in my hands a little tiny bit, and I press it into my face like this, which stimulates the lymphatic system. And I don't know the rest of the science behind it, but it is incredible, and I will tell you more about that too. It's like the coolest thing ever, and you should try it. And then when I talked about eliminating certain foods, I completely recommend looking into something like the Whole30 program. It's not diet and exercise and like rigid rules. It's just eating a certain food types. It's eating real food. So Whole30 or a Paleo diet or a Primal diet, sometimes it's called. That's a little more loose with the rules, and those have really worked for me. So yeah, and bacon, you get to eat bacon on all of those diets. They're not diets, they're just lifestyles. So it's pretty straightforward and pretty easy and has huge benefits. So use it. Use your rose, use your coconut oil, use your bacon, eat your bacon.